Do you want to increase brand awareness, attract new patients immediately and consistently, and become the go-to practice in your community? Then learn how to do ground marketing. That's what I'm going to be teaching you in this series. Let's dive in. Today, we're not just reviewing a bunch of ground marketing episodes. We're looking back at the year the industry finally realized something huge. Ground marketing is not a bag of tips. It's not a list of places to go. It's not charisma, personality, or chances. Ground marketing is an external operating system for your practice. And this year, episode after episode, we quietly built the architecture of that system. So today, I want to walk you through everything we learned, not as 40 separate ideas, but as 3 irreversible levers that any practice can pull to create predictable new patient flow. That's ecosystems, offers, and systems. If you take nothing else from this episode, take this. These 3 levers are why some practices dominate and others tend to stay invisible. And we spent all year proving them. So let's dive in. Section 1 is the system shift. So you go from random acts to an external operating system. So at the beginning of this year, most practices were doing ground marketing like vacation photos. They were fun, random, exciting, but completely unrepeatable. Episode 3, we discussed foundations. Episode 16, we discussed tracking. Episode 19 on how to build a team that can ground market. Episode 26, we discussed motivation. And episode 40, we talked about data behind ground marketing. All of these were pointing to the same truth. If you cannot predict your new patient flow, you do not have a system. You have a ground gambling type of feel. You're just kind of feeling and choosing and hoping in that situation. But here's what the top practices developed this year. The ground marketing flywheel. Every practice needs to know 4 numbers. Number 1, conversations per week. 2, contacts captured per week. 3, appointments booked per week. And 4, patients seated in your operatory per month from your ground marketing sources. That's it, 4 numbers. If you don't know those numbers, nothing else matters. You don't need more ideas. You need a flywheel. Because the truth is, consistency beats creativity every single time. I've witnessed that throughout the decade plus that I've been ground marketing. Consistency beats creativity. And the practices that won this year weren't doing better events. They were doing measurable, repeatable, scheduled ground marketing. That's when ground marketing stops being marketing and becomes the nervous system of your practice. So make sure we create that flywheel, okay? Number 1, conversations per week. 2, contacts captured per week. 3, appointments booked per week. And 4, how many of them came in that month from your ground marketing sources? Make that happen. Then the psychology layer. We'll call this section 2, psychology layer. And ground marketing works because humans work the same way. Episode 2, we discussed the psychology. Episode 9, we discussed how to handle rejection. Episode 23, we zoned in and hyper-focused on pediatric practices. Episode 39, we even hyper-focused more and discussed urban versus rural areas and how to ground market to those locations. And episode 20, we discussed persistence in your ground marketing. Now, these weren't just episodes. They were psychology lessons. And let me show you the 3 biggest psychological truths we uncovered. Number 1, you're not selling dentistry. You're reducing risk. And ground marketing works because people don't switch dentists from ads. They switch dentists when they feel safe. Safe with your team, safe with your tone, safe with your presence, safe with your consistency, especially parents, especially seniors, and especially new movers. Your job in schools, gyms, senior centers is not to pitch dentistry, just to answer a silent question. Are you safe for my time, money, and family? That's all I want to know. Can I spend my time, money, and family with you? Do I feel safe doing that? When you answer that with your presence, not your promotions, people will move toward you. That's number 1. Psychology truth number 2. Rejection isn't a verdict. It's data. Maybe a location said no, a school ignored you, a vendor ghosted you. It doesn't mean they hate dentists. It usually means wrong timing, wrong person, wrong offer, wrong ecosystem. Every no contains a direction. And this year we learned rejection is a compass, not a stop sign. So you pivot every time. And obviously, the answers to all of this, how to pivot, what specific scripts to say when a gym says no, a school says no, a corporation says no, and how to still pivot and get your foot in the door and get new patients from these locations. The scripts for all that is found in the ground marketing course. So if you're not a member of the ground marketing course, I encourage you, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below, and you can already see everything that's inside the ground marketing course. And all you got to do is join. And when you join, you get more one-on-one time with me, and you get access to all the strategies, all the scripts, everything we've been talking about, plus a million times more in the ground marketing course. And we continue to add to it. I continue to add to it. So I'd love to see you in the course, especially if you're thinking, I'm going to start doing ground marketing this new year coming up. Definitely take this into consideration. It's in the show notes below. Click on the first link in the show notes below. And it'll give you the guidance on how to handle any rejection and the scripts to say it as well. So that's psychology number 2, the truth. Rejection isn't a verdict, it's data. Now, psychology truth number 3, environment changes everything. If you're an urban location, people drown in choice. You win by clarity. If you're in rural locations, people drown in distance. You win by dependability. So think of it this way. In cities, your advantage is being the clearest choice. But in rural towns, your advantage is being the last dentist they ever want to leave. Every environment has psychology baked into it. This year, you learned how to read it. So make sure you keep that into mind. We'll call this section 3 ecosystems. Stop choosing events, start choosing ecosystems. This was one of the most important breakthroughs of the entire year. We got a ton of messages on ecosystems, and it opened a lot of your eyes. I noticed that because episodes 10, 11, 12, 21, 22, 24, 31, 34, 35, 36, 38, and 42 over and over again were proving the same truth. Ground marketing only works if you plug into an existing ecosystem. That means not random events, not scattered opportunities, not whoever says yes first. It's intentional. Let me define this clearly. An ecosystem is a place where your ideal patients are already gathered. They're already behaving, and they're already trusting someone. Schools are ecosystems. Gyms, farmers markets, senior centers or senior communities, independent living facilities, realtors and new movers are ecosystems. Nonprofits, local vendors, corporations, basically almost every location and business that you see can be an ecosystem. And here's the gold. If you choose the right ecosystem, you cannot fail. If you choose the wrong one, nothing else matters. So this year, we developed a formula, the 3 ecosystem rule. So you're going to pick, number 1, one ecosystem for families. So that's either schools, daycares, youth sports, etc. 2, you're going to pick another ecosystem for lifestyle or health, gyms, boutique studios, salons, even farmers markets. And 3, you're going to choose one ecosystem for life transitions, real estate agents, senior centers, independent living facilities, HR departments. If you lock in just one strong partnership in each category, you don't have a new patient problem. You're going to have a capacity problem. So make sure you do that. The 3 ecosystem rule. Bare minimum, at least get one location for each section. One strong partnership for each category. You're going to get one for families, one ecosystem for lifestyle health, and one ecosystem for life transitions. And throughout this year, I gave you the scripts on how to get into all of these locations that we just discussed. Real estate, seniors, gyms, farmers markets, daycares, and so forth. But like I say, all that is found in the ground marketing course right at your fingertips whenever you need it, right then and there. So it's organized, and I'd love to see you in the course as well. Now we're going to go with section 4, offer architecture. People don't say yes to dentists. They say yes to direction. Episode 6, we talked about the pitch. Episode 8, we talked about referral programs. 13, we talked about giveaways. Episode 14, custom scripts. Episode 15, huge important episode, we talked about follow-ups. Episode 17, we talked about ground marketing materials. Episode 21, this was a huge episode. A lot of you messaged in about this. We talked about how to ground market an Invisalign day. Episode 44, testimonials, how to leverage them. Episode 45, we talked about contests. And episode 43, how to stand out from your competitors. These weren't random tactical episodes. They were all teaching the same framework. And this is the 4-part offer architecture. Every successful ground offer this year had these 4 ingredients. Number 1, a specific person. So anyone who needs a dentist is not a target. You need to be specific. New movers, busy parents, gym members, seniors with caregivers, people overdue 18 plus months. The more specific the person, the easier the conversation. So I want you to erase that mentality of like, hey, anyone who needs a dentist, that's who our new patient is. No, you need to get specific and target them. Gym members, new movers, seniors, right? It'll have a much easier conversation. That's number 1, a specific person. Number 2, a specific problem. You're not marketing dentistry. You're marketing these things. For example, you don't know who to trust with your kids yet. You're embarrassed about being overdue. You want Invisalign, but don't know the real transparent cost. That's what you're marketing. Answers to those. But at the same time, the emotions that they're all feeling, but sometimes they don't verbalize it. Yeah, maybe they don't know who to trust their kids with yet. Yeah, maybe they are embarrassed. Maybe they really do want the price of Invisalign, but they're like, everybody keeps saying, just come in and they'll check it out. You want Invisalign, but don't know the real cost? Tell it to you straight. That's what you're marketing. A specific problem. 3 is a low friction first yes. The first yes should never be become our patient. It should be small. You want to do this shade check, sensitivity test, a raffle entry? You want me to text your smile assessment, invite for an office tour or a consult, an event reminder? We'll message you your shade number. That's what you want the first yes to be. Yeah, you can put my name and number down. That's a yes. The first yes in ground marketing is not a patient. It's a contact point. Okay. A low friction first yes. And number 4, a follow-up path that doesn't leak. Episode 15, 16, and 40 taught us most practices don't need more leads. They need fewer leaks. Get a contact, schedule an appointment, get a confirmation. They're seated and you reactivate. If you don't have this, everything else collapses. So make sure it's sealed tight. Contacts, appointments, confirmation, seated, reactivation. Boom, repeat. A giveaway without follow-up is charity, not marketing. And raffles only work if the prize is attention you can continue, not a gift card they forget. I always like to say, hey, every single raffle, the winner and even the follow-ups and even the second place, third place, and everybody who signs up, all the prizes are always leading to cheeks in seats. That means they're sitting in our operator. That's the prize. Not so much like, hey, you won this gift card, an iPad or something, they pick it up and then they leave. No, you want the prize to be something you can continue. So make sure you have that in mind. Following up, wow, I can't tell you how many times we can fix so many things with a perfect follow-up. And perfect follow-up actually just means a permanent follow-up. It doesn't have to be quote unquote perfect. It just has to be consistent, repeatable. And if you feel like you can always adjust, always make it more personal, even better. But please always follow up. There's episodes on this podcast where we go deep into following up. And in the ground marketing course, I give you the template and everything on how to follow up and the instructions and even the next 48 hours. This is what you're going to do. The next 7 days, this is what you're going to do. If you don't hear from them in the next 12 days, this is what you're going to do and so forth. So I give you all that in the ground marketing course, by the way. So make sure you follow up. Section 5, scaling the machine. At the end of the year, ground marketing became a team sport. Episodes 7, 19, 30, 37, 32, 40, 41, 44, and 25 all taught variations of this. Ground marketing collapses when it depends on one person. If only one person knows the scripts, if only one person knows the partners, if only one person knows the follow-up, you don't have a ground marketing system. You have a hostage situation. This year we learned to assign roles. Have someone who's a connector, a closer, a coordinator. Now, it doesn't mean they have to be ground marketing all the time, but whenever there's huge, humongous events that the whole team can benefit from, have them. Okay, this team member is going to be a connector. This team member is going to be a closer. This team member is going to be a coordinator. And in this ground marketing series, we discuss exactly what those roles mean. Also, rehearse like a sports team. Debrief after every event. Track like it's game film. Kill underperforming strategies. Don't be afraid to let go of locations that underperform. Double down on winning ecosystems. Okay, if we're getting great results, we're always getting results from this ecosystem or this location, let's dive deeper. Let's go vertical. Let's double down. And then build authority through repetition. If your community hears your name once, you're promotional. If they hear it 3 times, you're familiar. If they hear it a dozen times throughout the year, you become the default choice. Reputation is built from repetition, not hype. So continue to be consistent. Get your reps in. Have repetition in your ground marketing. Section 6, what all of this points to in the next year. So the future is simple. 3 levers done well. Episode 46, the one titled The Only 3 Things You Need to Do to Start Ground Marketing in 2026. It wasn't just another episode. It was the summary of the entire year, the blueprint. Because everything we talked about this year fits into 3 levers. Choose the right ecosystems, everything about schools, gyms, seniors, farmers markets, realtors, events. That was the ecosystem lever. Craft offers that reduce risk. That's number 2. Everything about pitches, giveaways, scripts, follow-up testimonials. That was the offers lever. Then 3, install a simple tracking plus team system. Everything about team roles, data, motivation, scaling. That was the systems lever. Those 3 levers make ground marketing predictable, trackable, repeatable, scalable, and profitable. Not chaotic, not exhausting, not random. So again, number 1, choose the right ecosystems. 2, craft offers that reduce risk. And 3, install a simple tracking plus team system. Make sure there's accountability with your team. And that can be a key. One person can be the one who's mainly accountable for the ground marketing, but have your whole team involved. Your next 12 months really come down to one decision. Don't overwhelm yourself and try to do everything. Do this. Pick 3 ecosystems, create 1 killer offer for each, and use 1 simple tracking sheet every week. If you do those 3 things, you'll have the best ground marketing year you've ever had. And you'll be miles ahead of a practice trying to just do more ground marketing. Because ground marketing isn't more, it's better. And this year proved it. One of the reasons we created this ground marketing series is because we get emails and calls almost every day, but for sure every week, saying this is where we're located. We tried ground marketing. It's not working. What's happening? And the reason is what we're doing is we're going out to these locations, and it can be like a strip. It can be a business center. It can be a building where there's many businesses inside of it. And all we're doing is just introducing ourselves and dropping off goodies, dropping off donuts, and just saying, hey, if you need a dentist, or we're right down the street, we're about to open, or we're offering this. And that's it. And we're doing that with everyone. And we're calling it ground marketing. And that is not ground marketing. And I'm really passionate about it because for the new listeners, you may not know this, but for the OG listeners, I coined the term ground marketing. I remember in Facebook groups and in forums and in Dental Town, people were like, what is ground marketing? Why are people talking about that? And now people use it in their everyday vocabulary. And so when I coined it, I thought of it as a more sophisticated way of guerrilla marketing. And then it sharpened even more and more and more throughout the years. So now ground marketing is not any of that what you think, where you're going out, introducing yourself, talking to businesses. It may work here and there, but it's not a for sure system. I need you to create this ground marketing system. This is what ground marketing is, where it's intentional. It's predictable. You can forecast results, and the results are you become the go-to practice in your community. People see you all the time, even though you yourself are not out there all the time. It can be your team, but they feel that more one-on-one personal interaction. And this became huge and strong, especially after COVID, after the shutdown. People were craving person-to-person interaction more than ever. Yeah, you put hand sanitizer on, but still hug people. And so now it lets us know that's probably never, ever going away. People have a much more better trust when they have person-to-person interactions. So be out there in your community. Be seen as a go-to practice. The byproduct is obviously you get new patients. And honestly, this all started out, past 10 years ago, when I was working for the first practice I ever worked for in person, and they told me, hey, we need new patients immediately. Or not only are you fired and you're let go of, but the whole team is. And I just got hired on within the week, but a consultant and the practice owner hired me because I just said, hey, let me see what I can do. And so from that point on, it kind of came out of, hey, I just got to get new patients. I got to get new patients. But then much more came from that. Obviously, new patients come in, they flow in. You can get them within the week. That's incredible. You can for sure get new patients with ground marketing within the week. If you just do one of the strategies in the ground marketing course this week, you can get new patients immediately. But byproducts happen because of that are much more grander. You become the authority figure in the community. You become the go-to practice in the community. People want to partner up with you. People want to have events with you. They want to invite you to their events and so much more. And so not only that, not only are you just a part of the community, but you become one of the pillars in there. So ground marketing does many, many fantastic things. So please, if you haven't enrolled yet, go enroll in the ground marketing course. Everything I have ever done is in that course. Even videos of me doing the strategy live in real time, have a hidden camera, and I just push record. You can see me do strategies in real time at LA Fitness, me calling facilities and all these other places, me doing events at corporations. You can see how I perform and what I do and what I say in order to get people to sign up, come in, and cheeks and seats, and then they become our loyal new patient. Make sure you keep this in mind. Feel free to rewind, listen to this episode and any of the ground marketing series episodes. Please utilize ground marketing and know how to do ground marketing as well. Thank you so much for riding with me and sticking with us throughout this whole year on the ground marketing series. We really, really appreciate it. I cannot wait to continue to bring you more valuable things in this upcoming year. It's going to be fantastic. It's a whole new different transition. The ground marketing series is not going away completely. We will sprinkle it in throughout the year, but I'm excited for you to listen to this new concepts and these new ideas that we have for you that will help you, not just in your business, but in your life. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the podcast and supporting ground marketing. I really, really appreciate you. It means the world to me. So thank you so much for sharing the episodes, for enrolling in the ground marketing course, and just for pressing play and listening to the podcast. I always appreciate you. So thank you so much. And I'll talk to you in the next episode.